Well, friends, just when you think things couldn't get any worse for Donald Trump, Don Jr., Eric Trump in their New York civil fraud trial, things just got a little worse. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. Well, friends, the Trumps, Donald Trump and his boys, his sons, Don Jr. and Eric, just had what may be their worst day in their civil fraud trial in New York, a trial that has been ongoing for about 8 weeks now. Get this, Trump's lawyers called a witness. They put this guy on the stand. A witness named Jeff McConney. He is the longtime comptroller, a high officer in the Trump organization. And McConney provided testimony that crushed his former boss, Donald J. Trump. Here is the new reporting, this from the Business Insider. Headline, Donald Trump has worst day yet in New York civil fraud trial as underling's scribbled note ties him to conspiracy. Donald Trump had his worst day yet in his ongoing civil fraud trial in New York on Tuesday at the hands of his own key witness, a former Trump Organization executive who linked the former president directly to the fuzzy math at the center of the case. The witness was Jeffrey McConney, who was the comptroller and spreadsheet czar at the Trump org. McConney had been called to the witness stand by the defense, but on cross-examination by lawyers for the state attorney general's office Tuesday, he, McConney, linked Trump firmly to the conspiracy and fraud counts that have yet to be decided by the judge, that is, in the non-jury trial. McConney was handed People's Exhibit 3054, a draft of Trump's net worth statement for 2014. He was asked to look at a note scribbled in thin blue ink on the draft's first page. The note said, quote, DJT to get final review, close quote, which he, McConney, said he'd written. Trump has denied involvement in preparing a decade's worth of these annual net worth statements, which New York's Attorney General Letitia James has alleged, and the trial judge has agreed, were each year riddled with billions of dollars of exaggerations. The Attorney General has alleged the net worth statement that McConney was handed the draft for from 2014 contained, get this, $3.5 billion in exaggerations. That's not exactly a rounding error. The article continues. Trump, who has not attended the trial for the past 2 weeks, had said on the witness stand on November 6th that he had little involvement in the drafting of these net worth statements. In a pretrial deposition, he, Trump, denied knowing who had written DJT to get final review on that 2014 draft. But McConney's blue ink handwriting is all over the net worth statement drafts, showing he revised language and even added cautionary notes that were then passed along for Trump's final review, as McConney said in his own description of the drafting process. Friends, can I say it just one more time? This witness, the Trump org comptroller, Jeffrey McConney, was put on the witness stand by Donald Trump's own lawyers. Some real tactical wizards there, huh? Okay, first of all, what is a comptroller? Well, a comptroller is defined as a management level position responsible for supervising the quality of accounting and financial reporting of an organization. Now, friends, remember just a few weeks ago, the Trumps testified in this case. Donald Trump testified, Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka. And when they weren't sort of feigning a lack of memory, they were saying things that suggested that, we really don't know anything about valuations or about statements of financial condition or net worth spreadsheets. I mean, in their testimony, they were kind of signaling to the judge, we don't really know anything about the business we were doing in New York. Well, now the longtime comptroller for the Trump organization, Jeff McConney, just sort of laid that all to rest through his testimony that these financial statements were given to Donald J. Trump for final review. That's going to leave a mark, huh? Well, at this point, it's all over but the verdict. And before long, we will hear how Judge Engoron rules, how he finds, what his conclusions are about how much Trump and company should have to disgorge, that's the fancy legal term, for how much of their ill-gotten gains, how much of the money that they came into courtesy of their long-term systemic business fraud should they have to give back, and should they be prohibited from doing business in New York moving forward. I, for one, happen to think Judge Engoron will get his verdicts right.